I just want to come out and say that season 2, episode 11, the finale of The Promised Neverland, absolutely fucking sucked. This series has gone downhill and downhill and downhill and downhill, and this finale is literally the cream of the crop. I cannot tell you my frustration with this episode. It is so bad. It is so bad that I can't even really put it into words. We not only get a Peter Rodri backstory plus William Minerva in the final episode. The final episode, you guys are going to give a background to the main antagonist, quote unquote, of this series. And you guys are going to give him this low quality, this stiff animation and be like, oh, I loved my brother. It's like, what do you mean you loved your brother? You had him assassinated. Like, I was like, he's just crying on the road, like, my brother, he's dead. It's like, dude, you got him killed. What are you talking about? It's just like completely confusing. And it's not even that. It's just like, and then he slits his throat. And then the blade is completely clean. Like, what? The blade is completely clean. There's no blood on it. Blood spurting everywhere when you see his body. So it's just like, okay, so he clearly cut his own neck with the knife. But the blade is completely clean. I don't know if that was an anime issue, a censorship issue, which I doubt. They just had it anyway. And then we go on to have freaking Emma being like, oh, you know what? I know you guys have been sending us children out to be eaten by these demons, but you know what? We forgive you. And everyone's just okay with that. Like, all the children that are just in the background, like, they're like, who the hell are these people? Like, I didn't know that demons existed because, you know, we've been living in the farms our entire life. They're just like, oh yeah, we believe Emma. We believe this random girl. Okay, we're just gonna believe whatever the fuck she's saying. This human world that we're speaking of, like the concept that it should be completely foreign to half these children, except for the escapees, of course. And then we continue on, and we have one of the biggest reveals. Okay, so this might not be a big reveal for some of you, but they literally have a fucking door to the human world. And what is the key to it? The freaking Minerva pen. And I'm like, how did, like, is the legit key? How is the key to the human world the freaking Minerva pen? Does everything work with the Minerva pen? Like, how? Does Peter Rodri have a freaking pen? Like, why? I thought this was a whole secret society kind of thing with James and William Minerva, James Rodri, and he would have these pens distributed so they would all keep in contact and whatever, and they just do whatever, and then they just enter the pen. Oh, boom, human world. So what was the fucking point of the promise in the manga? The whole point with talking to Kulti Vidala and talking about, oh yeah, we have to keep I make the promises, I make everything. The promises cannot be changed. If you want to take every human child over to the human world, you need to make a promise with me, and that promise was the memories of the children, which was the memories of your family, was the specific wish that Kulti Vidala took from Ebba in order to make the wish, because she couldn't override a wish that was already being made. That's what Kulti Vidala told her. And so, and this, it's just like, there's no need to make a promise. There was no need to do any of it. Just open the door. Oh, we can go to the human world, and they could just go back and forth. They literally went back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. They just, oh, here's a bunch of children that we got out of these high production these low production, these mass production farms, and they didn't even show it in the manga. They didn't even show it in the anime. They didn't show it in the anime at all. So you have these mass production farms that are not explained. You don't even know what's in them, because these are these mass production farms in the manga that, like, people are hooked up to, like, literally feeders, and they have no intelligence, they have no, like, brain power at all. They're just there to be made and then eaten. That's it. Not the high production farms like Gracefield. And then you have Lambda, which is its own separate thing. So you have that. So it's like, okay, we have to save the people that we missed. Because I was calling that shit out in the episode. Like, dude, what about the other fucking children? You know, there's other people, there's other kids out in the world besides the people at Gracefield. So I'm glad they took that. But that doesn't mean that it fucking is good writing, because it's fucking terrible writing. And then we go into one of the fucking worst fucking sequences I have ever fucking seen in my life, in all my time of watching anime. They go into a fucking PowerPoint presentation, and in that PowerPoint presentation, what do we see? What the fuck do we see? We see the nobles. We see the queen. I was completely baffled. How the fuck does this? How does this explain? How does this work? Why are you explaining it now? You're gonna tell us that the nobles and the queen exist. That also means Luvis exists, or is it Luvis? It is Luvis or Lewis. I'm gonna call him Lewis. So Lewis exists. So you're gonna tell me you guys are gonna go up against the nobles and Lewis and the queen, and you guys are just gonna skip that? You guys are just gonna skip that. There is no fucking way the production in this series is that bad. This is like they had everything for it, and it just falls fucking flat. It just falls fucking flat. I cannot fucking believe this series went so far down the drain. I can't believe it. It's just so bad. We not only have that, but we fast forward and they have a picture of Colty Vidala. They have a picture of Emma negotiating with Colty Vidala. And I'm like, what the hell? Why is this even needed? You guys literally have a door to go into the human world. It's like, what was the point of making a promise? What's the point of even that scene anymore? You have a literal way to get into the human world, and you don't need to. You don't need to talk to Colty Vidala at all. What the fuck is this terrible writing? And for the anime onlys, they don't even know who the fuck that is. They're not explaining it. Like in my previous rant video, they're not explaining shit. They're not explaining how the fuck she got there, who the fuck that is. Like they're just ignoring it. So you have Colty Vidala just sitting there. They have this image, and they make sure to show this image. Like this is probably one of the longer images in the whole PowerPoint presentation. They're like, hey, look, manga readers, it's Colty Vidala. Look. And I'm just like looking, but the anime people, they don't know who the fuck that is. This is the first time in the series that we're seeing Colty Vidala, aka the God of Promises, aka the god that the demons worship. And it's completely baffling. And then they cut to a sequence to where Emma is standing over the main capital, the demon capital, and during the night, and it's all like, oh, it's bright and it's light and it's okay, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful picture. Okay, cool. And then guess what? The next fucking scene, or a scene or two after that, they show fucking Mujika being coronated. Are you telling me that Emma is gonna be completely okay with killing the nobles and the queen? Like after she went on a whole spiel about, hey, I don't want to kill all the demons. I want to save the demons. Yeah, the nobles and the freaking queen are like, they cannot be saved. They have to be removed for this world to work. They're the ones that keep the system in place. So you're telling me that she's okay with that? She's literally okay with like regicide and all that. Okay, whatever. Like it's just so bad. They just skip it entirely. Like oh, now Mujika's queen, just out of nowhere. She's being coronated as queen because that, like, she wasn't just a wanted criminal like in the past episode. Okay, like okay, whatever. It's just terrible. It is so fucking bad. So fucking bad. And it's not only that. You continue on, and we get an image back to the human world, and we get images of people or the kids being like, okay, we're living in the world, we have no education really besides what we've been taught in the demon world. We have no credentials, we have no nothing, but we're surviving. Okay, whatever. And then I forgot to mention, mother survives. Yes, the mom survives in this anime as opposed to the manga where she dies. So I'm not sure about that. I mean, for me personally, I actually like that. I know this fucking episode was terrible. But I actually did like that mother and the rest of the mothers actually survived in this anime. But that doesn't mean the fucking writing is good. Far fucking from it. This anime has gone freaking downhill. I have to keep saying it because compared to season 1, this is abhorrent. This is completely abhorrent, and it's just ugh. And then they have I'm back. Like remember she made a promise. Like they literally showed her with Colty Vidala making a promise. So I'm like, what the fuck is the cost? What was the cost? So she didn't. So she went to Cool TV Dollar for nothing. So that whole thing was pointless because she didn't get her memory taken away. She's completely fine. She has a literal way to go between the human world and the demon world with the pen. So it's like, it's just terrible. It's just terrible. And then they cut to Phil looking older. So as evidence that there's been a few years that have gone by as Emma has been in the demon world. This wasn't a simple operation. And then Emma, Ray, and Norman all look the fucking same as when they were still in there. They don't look any older. And then you go, Phil hugs freaking Emma and be like, oh, Emma's like, oh, we're back, we're home. And it's just like, what the hell? It's like, that's how you guys are going to end it? You guys are going to literally PowerPoint what could be season 3. Mind you, I would not be watching season 3. After season 2, I'm like, I would not be back. But there was actually a moment in the anime that I was thinking that they were going to actually save Goldie Pond for later. So like they were going to do, I'm just going to go back to the human world. I mean, go back to the demon world, and then the Goldie Pond arc would start as Emma would go to the last location on the pen. That she'd be like, that location on the pen, we forgot about it. Let's go there. And then we have Norman, Emma, Ray, all going to Goldie Pond. I thought that was the way they're going. Nope, they just end it. They're like, nope, I'm back in the human world. We rescued all the children. We're good to go. Man, dude, what a way for a great series to end. Just so fucking bad. Just so bad. Well, I think those are all my thoughts. I mean, it's just so bad. I mean, oh man. All right, guys. Thank you guys very much. I will see you guys next time. Man, this shit sucked.